is up, everybody? I am here, back with another one. As you can see, my boy Scadger is not here with us today, but I'm going to carry us for the Waiver Wire episode of Out of Pocket Sports. And this Waiver Wire is for 12-man leagues, PPR format. So let's just go ahead and get dialed in. But also, I meant to say, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, say some crazy shit in the comments. This is Out of Pocket Sports. We say crazy shit, so you kind of come with that same energy, baby, and let's just have some fun with it. But I'm going to start off my first waiver wire. This person is less than 1% rostered in leagues. I mean, this is juicy, juicy fruit. But unfortunately, he got revealed today, and that is Mr. Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell is the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, who absolutely went off today and showed that he can overtake this backfield. And trust me, I am a Gus Edwards owner. I know Gus Edwards gets some goal lines, but Keaton Mitchell was very explosive today, and he showed that, he can be that back that can for sure be inside, within the 20s, but then also inside. He can prove and be that too. But it will be a little hard because Gus Edwards he cemented his role as that goal line guy. But when we look at this Baltimore team, they're putting up lots of numbers. They're moving the ball, and they got some decent matchups. They have Cleveland coming up here next week. But after that, you got Cincy, the Chargers, and the Rams. It's kind of juicy fruit. But Keaton put up 138 yards today on 9 rushes. 9 rushes. So the efficiency was kind of insane. He even caught a ball too. So this is someone, you're going to put in a lineup. You might not be able to plug and play him. Now coming up with this week, there's a lot of people on bye. So this could be a week where you have to end up kind of putting him in there. But for what I'm going to do is I'm definitely trying to get him on a roster and figure this out, because as we're getting to this playoff run, we're trying to figure out people who could be league winners. And, if he takes over this backfield within the next couple of games, come playoff time's ready to roll, that could be league winner stuff right there. So the next person I'm going to go to is, unfortunately, he was on the opposite side of the winning team today. That's Mr. Trey Mcbride. Trey Mcbride is currently 42.8% roster, and the reason why I'm going to him is not because of what happened today, is because that Kyler Murray is supposed to come back next week. Keep attention. Try to pay attention on what's going on there. Is Kyler going to come back? What is not? Check the reports. See what's going to happen in practice. I assume today with the backup QB that they had in, he was doing awful. Cleveland's also a very tough defense to go against, but it was just very atrocious. The shit made me want to throw up trying to watch this Cardinals offense do anything. And I think no one wants to even touch this shit with a 6-foot pole. But unfortunate for me, I'm a stinky boy. We put on the mask. We're going to go get McBride. And if he's out there, I'm sure some people are going to drop him because of what happened this weekend. But I'm trying to pick him up, especially with Kyler coming back. He's going to get hyper-targeted. So that's just me. I like a little McBride, especially how tight ends can be. But let's go back to the well on tight ends. Why? When I look up on my phone, it's Taysom Hill, 39.1% roster. He is the Swiss Army knife. The absolute Swiss Army knife in football. He always scores. Not to say always, but he's always down there. In the red zone, they're giving him opportunities all the time. Why has no one just completely went berserk on this is how bad tight ends are. If you don't have Hawkinson, if you don't have Kelsey, if you don't have Andrews, those are the only 3 lineup blocks. Everybody else can be replaced based on the matchup. Let's be honest here. Evan Ingram is pretty sturdy. He'll give you a good floor. And Schultz has been all right. But when I'm thinking about everyone else, everyone's plug and play. Everyone can be flipped on matchups. But Taysom Hill has proven that he has a high ceiling of a Kelsey ceiling. He has a high ceiling of a Hawkinson ceiling. His ceiling is so juicy. So where you're going to find Taysom Hill at is if you have another tight end on your bench. I'm plugging in Taysom Hill if I'm going against that top dog in the league because I need points. I need someone who can give me something juicy and bring me back a double-digit score. And like we saw this week, I'm pretty sure he put up over 20 points. This is what we want, and he's got good matchups coming up, so just start buying into him. And another person I'm going to go to who had an awesome day. Now, he's close to 55. He is 55% roster. So he might not be out there, but if he is out there, pick up Tank Dell. This whole passing core for Houston's kind of funny because you got Nico's one day, you got Tank's one day, Schultz is doing his thing. The ball's getting spread around everywhere, but we have saw when Tank Dell is healthy, he gets targets. He's getting it thrown to. He is getting dialed up on all kinds of levels. So when we see this, and he is healthy for this game. I mean, we saw C.J. Stroud. He put up, 5 touchdowns, almost 500 passing yards. It was like 4 or something. I can't remember. It was like mid-fours. We know he is submitted. He is official QB. Now, he's got a little bit more of a stretch to start getting to elite status, but he is showing that he can be that guy. And he supported, I believe, almost 4 different people today, including the tight end. So I want to get Tank Dell if I have a possibility, if I can get Tank Dell, because I know he is out there in some leagues. So he is definitely a great flex play if you can do it. And then the next person I'm going to is Fournette. He's currently on the practice squad right now for the Buffalo Bills. And this is just another person where I'm trying to find people if I have a really bad RB2 situation. I've been plugging and playing. I got maybe someone, I got an A-Chain who's on the IR or Kyron who's on the IR, and I've been struggling to fill that position. I think someone like Fournette is someone you can pick up and you give him a little bit of time. I mean, because, okay, let me take that back. It probably is more best suited for people who have a situation but can wait a little bit, because Fournette is not going to play this week. He's on the practice squad. He might come next week. But as it gets closer to the playoff season, he could take over this role where Murray has been lacking at. And I don't think it's going to fake James Cook. But if Fournette becomes out really hot and scores some tutties, I could see him somewhat eventually doing something with James Cook, because the only problem with James Cook is that he does not know how to pass block. And Fournette is pretty good at pass blocking. So that could eventually hurt Cook at some point. I don't think it's going to hurt him in the next week or the following. But as we look out, going to the playoffs, this is what we're thinking about. We're thinking about the playoffs coming up. I think he could help out a little bit. And the next person, JSN, he's 55%. So I'm putting him on here. Why is he 55%? He should be on so many more rosters, because Lockett's going to be out the door. We've reiterated this on this pod so many times, but I'm going to keep saying it. Lockett's going to go out the door. DK is a alpha wide receiver, but JSN can get it done, and he got it decently done today in a team. I mean, the score were like Geno. I think he got 2 points today against Baltimore. It was absolutely atrocious. People going to at Baltimore, I'm going to be honest, whatever your master says next week, if you have a receiver who's going to Baltimore, unless you're like Sun God, I mean, I'm trying not to start him, because it is just so dangerous in there. And JSN still found a way to get double-digit points in a PPR format. And I think he's eventually going to not take over, but he's going to continue to cement his role as the season goes on. And when the playoff times come up, he could be a little juicy fruit based on the matchup, plug-and-play flex person that I'm putting in my lineups. The last one I'm going with, because the reason why I side to, is that he's still 27% rostered. And I saw Kyle Pitts was almost 80% roster. If you have Kyle Pitts, drop him right now for Jonu Smith. If you're holding on to Kyle Pitts hoping something's going to happen, drop him right now for Jonu Smith. And the reason why is Kyle Pitts has not done shit all year. He's not going to do shit all year. And now you keep believing that there's something. He has the talent. Oh, he's this athlete. It's not happened. Nothing's prospering for him. I'm currently a Bijan owner, and I'm sitting there wanting to pull my hair out, because I'm not sitting here pulling my hair out about how shitty the player is. I'm pulling my hair out because of the coach. The coach is not getting them the ball. It's just not happening. And I think the coach is checking. I'm not going to lie. I think the coach is out here checking how many people got rostered. He knows Jonu Smith ain't rostered in many leagues, so he's like, fuck it. I'm going to put him out there. Arthur Smith has came out and said he is not for the fantasy people, so we have to fight back. In order to fight back, we pick up Jonu Smith, who is not rostered in that many leagues. And when you pick him up, who's not rostered in that many leagues, Arthur's going to look at the scouts and be like, yeah, let's give it to Jonu. And then, bam, that's what happened. Because, I mean, that's what's been happening. Jonu is a top 10 tight end so far. And that's not saying much if tight ends are so kind of atrocious. But we're going into weeks where buys are accumulating. We know Dallas Goedert, who might be questionable for next week. We're going to need some tight ends filled up. And I think Jonu Smith is a great person to plug and play. But this was the out-of-pocket sports waiver wire segment. I was doing this on my own. Y'all drop in the comments. Say, where the fuck's Scatty at? Comment his name. Piss him off. Say some stuff to kind of get him a little riled up, because he's missing out this week. He went and watched the Cleveland Browns play today. So it was a good dub there, but we're wrapping out. Let's keep it short and simple. Stay tuned. Keep after it. Dial in. Let's get these fucking